Hi everybody, this is Dan Stolebarger, Holy Ground Explorations. It's time for our weekly Middle East updates, the week of July 27th. And let me encourage you, make sure you go to our website, holygroundexplorations.com, in order for you to access the PDF PowerPoint that covers what I'm about to share with you in less than 10 minutes. In much more detail, and also provides photos. So again, that's holygroundexplorations.com. Let's take a look at this week. It's a hair trigger away from all-out war in Israel in regards to what's going on in the Gaza. And we'll talk a little bit about the failed ceasefire, what's taken place, just as I'm reporting to you today, the latest as far as the Gaza situation, as well as the north. We know that this last week Israel shot down a Syrian plane. We also know that there were mortars and rockets that landed in the Sea of Galilee. So not only do we have the southwest, we also have the northeast, and there's rumblings in Lebanon as well. So with that, let's sort of jump into our weekly headlines. Let's begin with the threats from Iran, and again threatening the United States. The response from Trump. In fact, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders made the quote saying, "You know what? The only person that's inciting anything in this world today is Iran. Trump is not going to ignore this. He's going to be tough on this topic, and he's certainly not going to tolerate the leader of Iran making threats against America." We'll have to hold on to that one and see what happens. I found some humor in this next comment from the Palestinian Authority's ambassador to the UN on Wednesday. He made the comment that the Trump administration was pro-Israel. Really? But what brought a smile on my face was what followed when he said that U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley is becoming more Israeli than the Israelis themselves. And that caused me to smile a bit, and kudos to you, Nikki Haley. Now on the serious matters of the ceasefire, the failed ceasefire, again, get the PDF and read all this. But what has transpired is that there's been 2 shootings at the Gaza border. One killed an IDF soldier, and you can see photos and read about his memorial, but this was Avi Levy. And now, just yesterday, there was another IDF soldier that was shot and wounded at one of the border crossings. Again, the snipers using children as human shields to shield them. And so this has led to a failed ceasefire. And as I said before, we are just, it's a hair trigger right now. It wouldn't surprise me before this was posted, this YouTube posted, that we would hear that Israel is now in an all-out war in Gaza. Now, to the north, pick your poison, I guess you would say, because in the north, this last week, Israel shot down a Syrian plane, a fighter jet that had entered Israeli airspace 1.5 miles into Israel. It was shot down by 2 Patriot missiles. It landed most likely in the Syrian section of the Golan Heights. I've read reports that in an area that was controlled by ISIS, that the pilot was killed, dead. So there's threats back and forth from the Syrians. And if it and also we have reports of 2 rockets that were fired into Israel that landed in the Sea of Galilee. Keep in mind, that's 30 miles from the Syrian border. And again, from the Syrian side, they're saying it's just spillover from the Syrian civil war, but Israel's made it clear that not acceptable. There's no whoops factor whatsoever. And so tensions are heightened on the Syrian Golan border as well. You know, the threats that are going on in Israel today, they truly need another miracle. Threats of war are looming, not only in the south in Gaza, not only in the northeast of Syria, but again, Hezbollah has a steady supply of rockets on Israel's northern border, bringing the total to over 150,000 rockets that are trained on major Israeli cities. Again, the guerrilla warfare fighting in the Golan. It seems that the Syrian rebels are being defeated, and that Assad's national forces are taking control. We got a mess in Quneitra, but the Hezbollah soldiers that have been fighting in Syria are now heading back. About 80,000 of them are heading back into the Lebanese area. So the writing's on the wall. There's no question that Israel will be embroiled in another war soon. And I think it's important for us to be aware of what actually is taking place in the world around us today. And not only its political, but its biblical significance as well. One last thing before I let you go. We have this peace plan that, you know, the ultimate Trump Middle East peace plan. And what I read, it has a lot to do with using billions of dollars as incentives to the Palestinians to, in a sense, bypass their leadership and accept this aid that will supposedly, the wish is that it will lead to a peaceful resolution, a solution to the mess that we've had for quite some time, whether it's a two-state solution or whatever. But I'm skeptical, because the billions of dollars that have already been poured into this have not created, and even land, Israel giving up land or whatever, has not even made a dent in this warfare. Yeah, I think it's demonic, to be honest with you, and I think we're making a big mistake trying to figure out a financial way to negotiate a peace plan. We'll have to wait and see what takes place, because I'm sure that money talks, but who knows where it actually goes to. And so I'm a bit skeptical of this so-called peace plan, but again, we'll wait and see. So that's sort of our, well, that is our report for this week. And let me encourage you to pray about joining us in Israel. We have 2 tours coming up in 2019. We have one that we call Revealing Israel. That's February 28th through March 9th. That's sort of the first-timers tour. You know, for Holy Ground, we try to emphasize that on both of our tours, we want people to experience both the Israel of the Bible as well as the Israel of today. The Revealing Israel is more weighted to the Israel of the Bible. Our second tour that we're offering next year, we call the Issachar Tour, and that's much more weighted towards the Israel of today. That will be September 15th through the 24th. And again, the name itself, we hope, is what people experience on the tour. It said of the tribe of Issachar that they understood the times and they knew what Israel should do. And may that be true of us all. God bless you, and shalom, and remember, pray for the peace of Jerusalem.